Spotify has launched a bunch of new features for podcast and video creators. First of all, it's no longer Spotify for podcasters, but Spotify for creators. And they've launched things like custom thumbnails attached to your video podcast episodes, the ability to add short-form clips to an episode to promote it in the app, more prominent chapters for the video versions of your shows, and even new monetization options when you host on Spotify for creators. I'm going to show you how to take advantage of all these new features to reach a wider audience and how you can use Riverside to easily make those clips, thumbnails, and more to expedite the entire process. We'll put a link to this page in the video description, which is the big change from Spotify for podcasters to Spotify for creators. Spotify has also been releasing a lot of data, like an 88% surge in users consuming video podcasts just in the past year alone. And they announced new ways to monetize with the Spotify Partner Program, which we'll get to that in a minute, the ability to reach new audiences with video clips attached to your episodes and custom thumbnails, and making an even better viewing experience in the Spotify app for those clips and chapter markers, which again is easy to generate with Riverside. Now, step one is actually creating high-quality video content so you can add it to Spotify for creators. That's why I use Riverside to record my video podcast every week. You'll see all our previous episodes here. And when you record in Riverside, you get that high quality video and audio. We use screen shares, keeping things visually engaging, and you can do it from the iPhone and iPad or Android app or on the desktop as well. Now, when we're done recording, I edit an episode in really just a few minutes. Here's actually a time lapse of me putting the episode together, and you can see it takes like under 10 minutes to get that full episode ready. Plus, when you record with Riverside, you can get a full episode ready with the click of a button, removes filler words, silences, and all of that, and you can just make those last fine-tuned adjustments. Plus, if I go into a previous recording like this, I can generate show notes, and really quick, you can see how fast that happened. I actually get an episode summary, which is helpful to use in YouTube or in your podcast host, possible titles for the episode, and those chapter markers. And if I copy and paste this text into my podcast episode description, those chapters will be available in Spotify. So not only do I have my full video episode here in Riverside, but I can also generate magic clips, which we now have magic clips controls, meaning I can choose how long I want these magic clips to be, what speaker to focus on, and what topics to highlight. I can click generate clips, and in just a few minutes, I'm going to get a bunch of vertical videos that then I can add to Spotify for creators. And I'm going to download one of these clips right now so we can add it to Spotify for creators. So here I've logged into my Spotify for creators account, previously Spotify for podcasters. And once you claim your show, which I have an entire video on how to make sure you can claim your RSS feed in Spotify, you can check that video out right up here. You have all your episodes that's from your podcast host right here. And all these features are available whether you host your show in Spotify for creators or if you host your podcast elsewhere. I actually host my show at transistor.fm, and every time I add a new episode and publish it there, I just come to Spotify for creators, just go to the episode where you want to upload that video version that you downloaded from Riverside, click the three dots, and you can upload a clip, which I'll show you in a moment, or you can upload the full-length video. Click upload a video, and now you can choose that full-length edit that you created, and this is going to attach it to this episode in Spotify. Once you do that, you can go to your episode details. All this information, like the podcast episode description, that came from my podcast host, but you'll see the full-length video is right here. That's what I uploaded from Riverside. Now, if you already host with Spotify for podcasters, there's an incredible integration where you can start, create a new episode in Spotify, you'll go over to Riverside to record, and it'll publish right back to Spotify, so you never have to download files yourself. If you want to see that whole integration and process, check out this video right up here. Now, one of the other new features is you can actually upload a custom thumbnail. This way your video episodes look great in the app. Then here on the episode page, scroll down, and you can see thumbnails are at the bottom. You can choose a screen grab that Spotify has already generated here, or you can upload your own custom thumbnail. I would recommend creating those custom thumbnails. It's going to make it more visually appealing in the app and look more professional. And if you're not sure how to create those, Riverside actually does that for you too. I'm going to go back here to my recordings page, which look at all these magic clips that were just generated just a couple minutes later. I can edit these, add those animated captions, and use them to advertise the episode. Now, if I click into the full recording, this is where you would download the files or get AI-generated show notes. And if you scroll all the way to the bottom of this page, you'll see there's a bunch of images that we've generated with screen grabs during the recording, and you can download them and use them as a thumbnail. I like to find one where we're smiling, and here's one. You can download the image and then upload this as a thumbnail to your episode in Spotify. So now that we have added our video and custom thumbnail, let me show you what it looks like in the Spotify app. Here, I'll go to Spotify, and here in the podcast Primary Technology, this is the main episode listing, and you'll see all the custom thumbnails that I've been uploading are now visible right here in the app. And those look nice when it's on the discovery page or when someone's browsing for a new episode. Now, if I click into an episode, you see that thumbnail large there at the top. The entire episode description, which actually came from my podcast host, is here as well. And those timestamps that I mentioned you can copy and paste from Riverside, I put them here in the episode description. So in Spotify, when someone's watching, they can actually browse the chapters by those timestamps. And this is one of those changes in the Spotify for Creators announcement. So now we have the video actually playing. And if I scroll up, those chapters are now prominently available right here in the video player. And I can tap on a chapter and jump to that point in the episode. Shrink the chapter list, and there's me and my co-host, and the timestamp jump forward. Now, if I go to last week's episode, you'll actually see in addition to the thumbnail, the chapters, and the video, here's actually a short vertical clip that I uploaded. And now someone can see an engaging moment of your episode, watch it in the vertical format, and then add the episode to their Up Next playlist. Well, to do that, I'm going to jump back into Spotify for Creators. Here's my episode listing again. I can click the three dots and then go to upload a clip next to any episode. And that's also available if you jump into an episode. You have details here, comments, which is actually unique to Spotify, and then clips right here is where I can upload that vertical video. I'm going to upload the clip that I downloaded from Riverside, one of my magic clips. And this is actually about the new Find My network, so I can write a little description of this clip. I can check whether or not this is 18 plus only or explicit content, which it's not. And then when I'm ready, I can just click publish right down here. Now, at the moment, you can only add one clip per episode. I imagine that might change in the future, giving you the ability to add multiple. But even just having this one clip, that means the clip of your episode can actually appear here in the Spotify search and browse tabs. So here, this is actually a vertically scrolling feed. You can recognize it feels a lot like TikTok or Instagram Reels. And your short form video might be featured here. That actually looks like it was recorded on Riverside. And as you can see, sometimes you might have a podcast that's just playing an audio clip. And you can see how much more engaging it is to actually have a video version when someone's browsing their Spotify app. And those clips might also appear here in the Explore episodes. So that's how to add custom thumbnails, upload the full-length video of your episodes, even if you don't host on Spotify for Creators, and adding those vertical clips, which Riverside Magic Clips makes that easy. Also for the Spotify for Creators announcement was new monetization options. We'll put a link to this page as well, but this is specifically talking about the new Spotify Partners program. Now, you do have to have your show hosted on Spotify for Creators if you want to monetize and take advantage of this program. You can switch your host if you currently host a show elsewhere and want to move it, and they have instructions on that here. But if you scroll down, there is eligibility criteria. So if you expand this menu, you'll see that you have to host and upload through Spotify for Creators. You have to have at least 10,000 streamed hours on Spotify in the last 30 days. That is a pretty high mark, but doing podcasts, and if someone's listening to a multi-hour show every week, you'll be able to reach that soon, but you do have to be past a certain size to hit that in 30 days. You also have to have been streamed by 2,000 unique Spotify users in the last 30 days and have at least 12 episodes published. Now, once you meet that criteria and are approved to the program, you can monetize by ads revenue. That means Spotify will insert ads into your show, video and or audio, and those who subscribe to Spotify Premium can watch your video episodes without ads, but you'll still earn from those viewers as well based on how much content they watch. You can also offer paid subscriptions to your audience. This way they can get an ad-free version directly in the Spotify app, and you can earn that way as well. These are big changes to Spotify for Creators, clearly showing their push into the video market, and even more reason why you should add video to your podcast. Now, it can be intimidating, especially if you've done audio only or you're just getting started, but we have videos on the Riverside channel to help you from scratch on how to build out a setup, use devices you already have like your phone, whatever microphones, and features like Riverside Magic Audio can help you sound and look incredible with whatever gear you have. So if you want to learn about using Riverside to get that high quality video and audio, check out this video right up here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button before you go. If you have any questions, I'd love to answer you down in the comments, so leave them down there. We'll answer you about Spotify for Podcasters, Riverside, or anything else. And if you want to see how I edit my video podcast every week in like less than 15 minutes using Riverside, check out this video right up here. Thanks for watching. We can't wait to see what you create.